Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Learn Linux TV. Over the years, I've taught you guys all kinds of Linux-related concepts, and that's the goal of this channel, to teach you guys Linux one video at a time. But in today's video, I want to talk about learning in general. And in particular, what I'm going to do is give you 5 tips to make the process of learning Linux even easier. And let's be honest, learning Linux isn't always easy. It's a massive topic, and in many cases, it feels like there's subtopics inside of subtopics inside of even more subtopics. That could definitely feel overwhelming, and for a lot of people, it's hard to know where to focus. And one of the main reasons I created this channel in the first place was to help break all that down and make Linux easier to understand in general. But explaining technology is only part of the equation. Actually learning it is another challenge entirely. So in this video, I want to give you some practical advice. Tips that'll help you learn faster, focus on the right things, stay motivated, and make better use of your time. I won't promise to explain the meaning of life, that might be a bit ambitious, but these tips will be genuinely useful, especially if you've been feeling stuck or overwhelmed. So again, what I'm going to do is give you 5 tips during this video that'll help make Linux learning even easier. And also, I've made a conscious effort to avoid the usual advice you've probably heard 100 times already. You know, things like take good notes, read the man pages, get enough sleep, or learn the basic terminal commands. That's all good advice, but you've already heard all of that before. Instead, I want to share some less obvious, more unconventional tips that might help you think about learning Linux in a slightly different way. And we'll get into my 5 tips shortly, but first, I just wanted to mention that you should consider becoming a channel member. If you enjoy the content here and want a slightly more streamlined experience, becoming a member is a great way to do that. Channel members get access to ad-free versions of videos along with early access to select uploads, so that way you can watch new content a bit sooner without any interruptions. This is completely optional, of course, but it's a nice way to support the channel if you find yourself regularly coming back here and getting value from my videos. If that sounds like something that you might be interested in, you can check out the membership options by clicking the join button below this video. And a big thank you to everyone who's already become a member. Your support makes a real difference, and it helps me keep creating the kind of Linux content that you come here for. As always, thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get into my 5 tips for easier Linux learning. And my first tip is to avoid trying to learn too much at once. Instead, your attention should be laser focused. So rather than attempting to master an entire application or platform, you should instead break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. This approach not only helps prevent overwhelm, but it also makes it much easier to retain what you've learned. And I'll give you an example. Suppose you want to learn Vim. That's a great choice. It's a powerful and incredibly capable text editor, but it also has a huge number of features. You could sit down and read manuals or books cover to cover and learn everything, but honestly, that's not really the most effective way to learn it. A better approach is to focus on core functionality. So with Vim, you can start small. First, learn how to open the editor. Also learn how to open a file, make changes, save a file, and quit. And that's it. Ignore everything else for now. Once those basics are second nature, then you can move on to the next thing. For example, you'll probably reach a point where you need to learn how to copy and paste text, and when you get to that point, you can learn about it then. Later on, you might need to do something like replace text, and when you do, you'll learn it at that point. Each new feature should be learned exactly when you actually need it. The same idea applies to something like Git. Git has an enormous feature set, but you don't need it all on day one. Instead, you can start by learning only the core essentials. In the case of Git, that would be how to create or clone a repository, pull changes, commit your work, and push updates. You should focus exclusively on those fundamentals. Everything else can wait until it becomes relevant. And this way of learning is far more effective because it's directly tied to real-world use. You're learning things in context, which is going to help make them stick. And just as importantly, by focusing only on what you actually need, you dramatically reduce the chances of feeling overwhelmed. At a higher level, the takeaway here is simple. Don't try to learn everything about everything. You should instead focus on what's immediately useful. And this is exactly how professional Linux administrators operate. We don't have everything memorized, even if sometimes it seems that way. We're just very good at finding the information we need right when we need it, and that's a more effective strategy than cramming your brain with knowledge that you may never use. And the next tip I'm going to give you for learning Linux faster is to integrate the tools you're learning into your daily routine. And also, whenever it makes sense, try to connect different tools together. Think of it this way. If you're learning something new, you're probably going to take notes. Maybe that means pen and paper, or maybe you're saving text files on your computer. But if you're trying to learn something like Vim, why not actually use Vim to write those notes? It might sound obvious, but it is incredibly effective. After all, if you're going to learn a tool, the best thing you can do is immerse yourself in it. And it gets even better when tools start to complement one another. Let's say you also want to learn Git. And you might think, that's great, but I don't have a project to use it on. But in reality, you do. Those note files you create with Vim are going to be a perfect candidate for version control. Now you're getting real hands-on experience with Vim while writing your notes, and at the same time, you're learning Git by tracking and syncing those files. And you can even take this further. Suppose you want to learn something like tmux. If you do, you can run Vim inside tmux. And all of this can happen on the Linux distribution you've chosen to learn. Suddenly, you're not just studying tools in isolation, you're building an actual workflow. The key is to look at whatever you're learning and ask, how can I use this in my day-to-day life? If another tool naturally fits alongside it, then you should combine them. This helps you understand how things connect with one another, and more importantly, it turns learning into something practical and repeatable. By integrating these tools into your daily workflow, you'll build real experience and your skills will grow much faster as a result. We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but first I want to talk about something that Linux users are passionate about. Fashion. Just kidding, we don't care. That said, society has decided a long time ago that we have to wear clothes. And if we're going to do that anyway, they might as well be comfortable, and maybe even communicate what we're passionate about. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that passion is Linux. And that's why I put together a little shop with Linux-themed shirts, mugs, stickers, bags, and more, stuff that lets you quietly signal what you're into. And it's not just about telling the world that you run Arch. The swag is practical, low-key, and celebrates the Linux community as a whole. Whether you're looking for a shirt to let everyone know what your favorite distro happens to be, a sleeve for your laptop, or a cheat sheet to guide you along during your Linux journey, chances are the Learn Linux TV shop has something just for you. There's no hyper trends, just things you can wear while scripting, debugging, or wondering why someone rebooted the production server at noon. So check out the shop and support the channel. I would really appreciate that. And now, let's get back to the video. Next, I want to talk about something that's a little uncomfortable. Learning isn't always fun. Sometimes you don't get to choose what you're learning. Maybe it's a prerequisite for something that you do actually want to learn, or maybe your boss needs you to pick up a tool that's tedious or boring to learn. Unfortunately, that's just how learning works sometimes. So what exactly do you do when motivation starts to drop? Well, one effective strategy is to have a passion project. And this should be something that's completely optional, something you're learning purely because you want to. You could think of this as a guilty pleasure. Now, it still needs to be Linux related though, so your Xbox is not going to qualify as a passion project no matter how excited you are to play Call of Duty. So just choose something that's related to Linux. You can set up a spare machine, a virtual machine, a Raspberry Pi, or any kind of sandbox environment, and then dedicate it to your passion project. And Home Assistant is a great example of a passion project. For most people, it's not mandatory, and unless you work in a very specific field, it's not going to impress your boss. Basically, nobody at work is going to care if you've automated your light bulbs in your dishwasher. But Home Assistant is a lot of fun to work with for people that are into home automation, and that's the point. And here's where that helps. You could use that passion project as a reward system. You could tell yourself that once you push through the boring or frustrating thing that you have to learn, you'll get to spend some time working on your passion project. And that little reward can be enough to boost motivation and help you get through the dull stuff. But interestingly, these passion projects actually do help your skills in ways that you might not expect. Even though these projects are not going to be tied to your job, they naturally expose you to real-world Linux concepts. For example, Home Assistant runs on Linux. At first, everything you need is nicely abstracted behind a dashboard, but eventually you'll need to edit a configuration file, troubleshoot a service, or dig through the file system. And before you know it, you're working with systemd, managing files, and solving real problems. And finally, passion projects are a great way to prevent burnout. Learning Linux is a lot of fun, but every now and then you might have to learn something that's not so fun. Those moments are temporary, and having something enjoyable to fall back on helps keep the process fun and sustainable over the long term. Next, it's important to choose a few specialties within Linux and focus on those. You simply can't learn everything, and that's okay. Linux is an enormous ecosystem with countless areas to explore. There's system administration, kernel development, DevOps, distribution engineering, technical writing, and many more things. And one of the biggest challenges that many people face isn't learning itself, it's deciding what to learn in the first place. A good way to tackle this is to start with the minimum requirements for the path that you're interested in. For example, if you want to get into system administration, you'll need solid command line skills and basic networking knowledge. Or if technical writing is your goal, then learning Markdown is a great addition. For DevOps, you'll want to pick up at least one automation tool, and these fundamentals will form the foundation that you'll build on no matter where you decide to go next. Once you're comfortable with the basics, you could then start to branch out and select a few more specialties. Maybe that's cloud computing, storage, advanced networking, containerization, hosting, or something else entirely. The big question then becomes, which specialties should you choose? And my advice is simple. You should follow whatever brings you joy. Pay attention to the technologies that genuinely interest you or feel fun to work with. There's usually something that sparks your curiosity, and that's worth listening to. We spend a huge portion of our lives working, and everything feels easier when you actually enjoy what you're doing. For example, if database administration feels dry or tedious to you, it probably isn't the best specialty to pursue. On the other hand, if you find yourself enjoying the process of managing a TrueNAS server, storage might be a great fit. If networking excites you, maybe you'll go beyond the basics and dive even deeper. Or if you've always been drawn to hacker movies, maybe ethical hacking might be worth exploring. You have the actual SSH key to DistroWatch? Yeah, it's been on GitHub the entire time and, well, no one noticed. That guy. And to make this more effective, consider creating a personal learning plan. You can start with the core requirements, such as basic networking and command line skills. Then you'll add one or two specialties and break them down into smaller, more manageable pieces. You can arrange those pieces in a logical order so your learning naturally builds over time. And definitely don't forget to include your passion project as well. As I mentioned earlier, even if that project doesn't directly align to your career goals, working on something fun strengthens your overall skill set and deepens your understanding of Linux as a whole. Also, you should be flexible. Your interests will almost definitely change over time, and that's normal. You might discover a new topic that excites you and you'll decide to add it to your learning plan. Or maybe you'll realize that something you thought you'd enjoy isn't really all that appealing, and then you'll replace it with something else. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You're growing as a person, so of course your interests are going to change as well. But no matter what, do not create a learning plan that's based solely on what other people want you to learn. Yes, there's always going to be mandatory skills, but your career belongs to you and not your employer. Most people change jobs multiple times over their careers, so don't let any single organization completely dictate your growth. If you make room for the things that excite you and spark your curiosity, your entire career will be more enjoyable and more sustainable because of it. And for my last tip, there's one command that you should absolutely learn no matter what area of Linux you're focusing on, and that command is the history command. The thing is, Linux has countless commands, but if I had to pick just one that belongs on everyone's must-learn list, that would definitely be it. The history command is incredibly useful, and yet for some reason a lot of people completely overlook it. And one of the biggest advantages here is that the history command acts as a built-in record of what you've done. If you ever fix a problem and then forget to document the steps, there's a good chance that the exact commands you used to fix the problem are still sitting there in your history. And also, if you're starting a new job and taking over a system, being able to review a previous administrator's command history can give you incredible insight into how that system has been managed. So definitely learn the history command. I do have a video on this channel, like I mentioned, that will teach you everything you need to know to get started with it, so I'll leave a card for that video right about here. Definitely check it out. But overall, definitely don't sleep on the history command. It can save you an enormous amount of time and frustration. And also, it helps you learn Linux faster by seeing real commands that were used to fix actual problems. Now, before I close out the video, I do have one bonus tip for you. You might want to check out my Linux Crash Course series. Yes, I know that's a shameless plug, but hear me out. That series has nearly 100 episodes, and each one focuses on a very specific Linux topic. The best part of this is that you don't have to watch every single episode within this series. You could jump in and watch only the episodes that cover the things you're curious about at the moment, and it's also something you can keep coming back to over time. If there's a command or technology that you want to learn, there's a pretty good chance that I already have a video on it. And while mentioning my own series might sound like self-promotion, it's genuinely a massive learning resource. The Linux Crash Course series covers a wide range of topics, including distributions, commands, desktop environments, and much more. So if you're looking for a library of Linux knowledge you can explore at your own pace, that series was built exactly for that purpose. And there you go. In today's video, I gave you 5 tips to help make it easier to learn Linux, and I really hope this video has helped you out. The thing is, learning Linux is a lot of fun, but if you ever feel like you're starting to get burned out or overwhelmed, it's really important to get past that, and hopefully the tips that I gave you will help you do exactly that. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say. And also, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.